Hey folks, you ever sit at the table and realize that someone's rolling way too high all the time, and you question them in their rolls? Well, you may have a dice cheater at your table if you keep having a repeated high roller. Let me talk a little bit about next how to handle those people. Hey YouTube, hey, what's going on? I'm the Evil DM and this is my channel. Welcome back. If you're a first-time person here, welcome to the channel. If you're a long-time listener or a subscriber, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate every like and watch you guys give me. Now, on to the topic at hand, dice cheaters. Have you experienced dice cheaters in your game? Let me know in the comments below, and we'll as we go through this. So, I have experienced in the 20-something years that I've been doing this, I think it comes out to 25 total, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, I've been playing a long time. But I have experienced a bunch of dice cheaters in my game. And when I'm talking about dice cheaters, I'm talking about people that buy dice that not only are loaded, because you can buy loaded dice that weigh a certain weight, that roll a certain way, but yeah, that's amateur stuff. You can buy dice that have multiple sides taken off them to mimic higher rolls. For example, I have a D20 that I confiscated from a player a long time ago during my game because I found out he was cheating and rolling a lot of 20s. It has 3 20s on it. To the normal average eye, it looks like a normal 20-sided die. But if you pick it up and look at it, it has a 20 on one side, it has a 20 where the 1 is, and it has a 20 on the completely opposite side. So you can't, if it's just sitting on the table and you're looking at it, you would never know it's a cheater die. And I was playing in this game, and this player kept rolling more 20s than normal. Now, it's okay to have a hot streak where you're rolling your dice and you're getting lucky, and you know, you're rolling really good, you're getting a 20 and 20. People have those nights, and it happens, and it's understandable, and hey, awesome. But if you're playing 3 days and then you're going to take a break and you're playing again, and this player is averaging more critical hits with a D20 than most people that you've ever seen or in your group entirely, it becomes to the point that as a DM you have to challenge the player. And there's nothing wrong with it as long as you don't embarrass them. Now, ways of handling this is you can flat out embarrass the player and say, all right, this is a little unbelievable. I want to see your dice. And you could do that. As a DM, you have every right to do that. It's a little embarrassing, a little rude, but to the point. And if they refuse that, then you say, that's fine. Just use another die. And if they refuse that, then you know there's something up with the situation. So, and then there's the subtle way. During a break, you talk to the player on the side, and I highly recommend this because it's the best way to go. You say to them, listen, I think you've been rolling a little too high lately. I'd like you to switch your dice. Don't immediately accuse them. Just suggest. Say it looks a little weird. I think we should just change dice a little bit. And maybe beforehand talk to a few people in your group to see what they say as well. It's always a great idea to get a second opinion. Like, you know, if you're playing with 6 of your friends and you're like, hey, Tim seems to be rolling 20s a lot lately. What do you guys think? And then they were like, oh, dude, he's totally cheating. I could tell. Or, oh my God, he told me that he just bought a cheater die. You know, things like that. The situation is a tough situation. And if you're friends, I don't understand why you'd be doing that with other friends at the table. Because it's just, that's not cool, dude. It's just not cool at all. You really shouldn't be cheating your friends. And really, you're only cheating yourself out of the experience of the game. You're not cheating. Oh, yeah, you're cheating to win. So what? It's a game. Big friggin' deal. Ooh. So you're cheating to get those 20 so you can look better and more cooler than everybody else. You're basically robbing everyone at the table of experience. They are. I don't care what you say. You're killing off these things with these great hits and everything. You're pulling the experience away from other people that could possibly get that high-level roll or those experiences down. But hey, you're a selfish player. What does it matter, right? That's what they are, selfish players. So what I did, back to my story, was I found the player was cheating in my game. And this was probably about 10 years ago at this point. I was living in Pennsylvania, and I was playing in my friend's basement. We always got together. We played in his basement like once every weekend, and one of the guys kept rolling 20s, like a lot. And I was just like, all right, well, give the guy a benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's on a hot streak. And then when we were on break, I was talking to my other buddy. We'll call him Reeves. And I said to him, Reeves, what do you think, Brent, why is he rolling a lot of 20s? And then Reeves is like, well, I found out that earlier that he was bragging about buying a cheater die. I said, well, why didn't you tell me? He's like, well, I didn't think he was actually going to use it in our game. And apparently he had, but I didn't want to, embarrass him in front of everybody by screaming it out loud because that's rude, which it is. But some people will do that. But if you want to handle it that way, by all means, handle it that way. But yeah, he gave me that. So I approached him on the side and I said, dude, they told me that you have a cheater die. Is this true or is this not true? And he was just like, oh no, I would never cheat. And I said, oh, okay. Let me see your dice. And he was like, absolutely not. You can't touch my dice. I said, that's fine. I will not touch your dice because I understand the whole rule of don't touch another man's dice. Because you don't want to curse someone else's dice. That's just bad luck. Especially don't touch the DM's dice. I said, that's fine. Put your dice down on the table. And he was just like, okay. And he put all his dice on the table. I said, the 20 there you've been rolling right there, put it in the palm of your hand and roll it around. And he's just like, okay. So he started to cleverly roll it around in his hand. And I'm like, okay, right then and there, I could see that there's another 20 on there. I asked him to hold it in his hand at that point and show me the 20-sided, and then the other 20-sided, and then the other 20-sided. In which I took the dice from him at that point, and I said, you will get this back after the game is over. And he's like, all right, that's fine, Instead of, wasn't my decision, but the homeowner wanted to kick him out of the house at that point. Because it was his house, not mine. I was just running the game there. And I said, no. Everybody, deserves a second chance. And this person deserved it. While he didn't own up to it, he did agree to not do it ever again and hand over the die. So I confiscated the die. I actually own the die to this day. Because after the game was over, I said, as promised, here is your die back. And he said, no. He goes, you keep it, destroy it, do whatever you want with it. I don't want to ever, I made a mistake, and I lost everybody's trust tonight and respect. And it's going to be a long battle to actually climb that hill to gain people's trust again and faith in me. So, as, an extension of good faith, keep the die, get rid of it, destroy it. So I did. I brought it home, and I put it in my dice collection that I never use. I have a whole collection of dice that's broken or weird sets that I don't like that I keep just in case people come over and need dice. But I don't ever give the cheater die to anybody. And it just sits there. It's just, I now hold it as a example die if I ever catch anybody cheating, or if I see anybody cheating, or people want to know about certain dice, I'll have it. So that's how I would handle these cheaters at the table. And, we don't know how people act or react, I should say, to these situations when you confront them. So if it's your friend, they really shouldn't be doing this to begin with, because it's really just pretty much selfish. But if it's your friend, hopefully they will be respectful enough and own up to it and be like, yeah, you caught me, I'm a douche, whatever you think is best, short of kicking them out of the group. But I mean, some people will kick you out of the group for those things because it's just not right. It's not fair. But whatever you decide is what it is. So if you're at a convention, or you're at a pickup game, or you're at the comic book store, and these things happen, best bet, find out if it's happening, talk to the group. After you talk to the group, have a consensus with the group. Once you find some proof, take a vote, decide what to do. If you want to keep them in the group or not, toss them. I found another player when I was at Reaper Minis right here in Texas. There's a store called Reaper Minis we used to go to, and they used to accommodate role-playing games. So I would drive up there to the store to play in a bi-weekly game, and I was playing Advanced Dungeons & Dragons First Edition. I was running that. I had about 14 players at the table. It was over the summer, 5 or 6 years ago. And I found out there was one player who was changing his stuff on his character sheet because there were so many people in the game. He was just like, well, I'll change it to what? He basically was bragging to the rest of the group when I wasn't around and saying, oh, I changed my character. He said, we can't have chaotic neutral characters. Well, I made myself chaotic neutral. I honestly don't see the point of that, because if we don't allow it in the game, just because it's on the sheet and the DM doesn't want characters to play that alignment, you can't just change it and that's be like, hey, I'm chaotic neutral, because then right then and there you violated the rules that we've all agreed upon. Dummy. He also changed his stats around too. Gave himself a bump up here and there by a point, which I... good thing I kept copies of the original character sheets, because I just clicked it with my camera on my phone and then uploaded it to my OneNote. Or back then it was Evernote. But yeah, I just kept copies of them, and I'm like, yeah, no. And that person also, to add on top of all what he've done, was a real creep to a bunch of girls in the group, which they complained to me on the side about. They don't want to sit. Literally, if I come to a game and 2 of the girls in the game go to me, okay, I'm going to sit here today next to you. And I'm just like, okay, cool, what's up? Well, I don't want to sit next to this person because he's really creepy and he touches me. No. Soon as I found that out, that dude, cheat, no second chance. You're touching someone in my group, you're out. Get lost. I told him, don't ever cheat in the game again. 1. 2, get out. I said, I don't own this store. I can't make you leave this store, but I can make you leave my game. And I said, in fact, you know what? I can make you leave this store. And I went down to the store owner, which I did have a friendly basis with, Brian from Reaper. I think he was one of the partners. I don't know if he still is anymore. But I went to him, and I told him about it. And he was like, yeah, this dude's gone. So we kicked him out, and he never came back. Embarrassed. So, you know, that's how you handle those things. But, yeah, cheaters... If you're at a public place, just get rid of them. It's not worth it, especially if they're not your friends. This guy wasn't my friend. I didn't know him from, you know, a poster on the wall. So, but if it's your friend, different situation, handle it with tact, because friendships are on the line, and you never know what can happen in the situation. So tell me what you think. Give me a like, throw a comment in the box below, and tell me how you handled the situation. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, man. Hit the bell icon. Let it know. Hit the bell icon so it lets you know when the next video is. Good night, everybody.